What's up, everybody? My name is Vincent. Welcome to episode 2 of y00tube. In today's video, we're going to be covering some data and analytics around the collection that is currently on Polygon before its migration over to Ethereum. We're going to address some community highlights, but also some community FUD as well. Now, a lot of people in this community have been wondering what's next for this collection. The Degods team has been staying quiet for some time because they've learned from their lessons from Season 3 not to overhype collections. So what could we expect? Can we address some FUD in this video and kind of clarify what that FUD is all about? But also at the very end of the video, I want to share with you a few things from Frank, the founder, because he has come back from Singapore with Kevin Degods as well. So let's go ahead and cover all those different things in this video. Cannot wait to share with you. And as always, don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to join our Patreon page. And most importantly, please be careful with any of the scammers down in the comments below. I will never reach out via WhatsApp, Telegram, direct messaging, or email. So please be careful and invest safely. So guys and girls, let's get right into it. Right now, the floor price of y00ts is around 0.82 Ethereum. Now, right now, when I'm looking at the floor, a lot of amazing gems. Anything underneath 1 Ethereum to me is a great steal. So let's go ahead and look at the cheapest NFT. Now this one is for 0.82, which is roughly around $1,300. Now again, really great entry point in case you're wanting to have some exposure. Again, not financial advice, but just in case you're wondering what we used to be in terms of floor prices. It used to be above 2 Ethereum at one point. So let's go ahead and go into the analytics because we got to see what sales have been going on. So as a result of Season 3's artwork with Degods, we've seen kind of a dip within not just Degods and y00ts, but kind of the overall NFT Ethereum ecosystem. Now, when we look at the overall sales, we're seeing a good majority of buy orders. I've actually seen more activity in sales during this discount era, this low floor price, compared to when y00ts was above 2 Ethereum or even 1.5 Ethereum. There weren't as many transactions. And I think it's because people are just scooping up as money as they can before they start seeing another bull run, which they expect it to be, especially when the announcement of the migration over to Ethereum does happen. Now, we're going to go ahead and look into the volume, but also we're going to be looking into the floor price because they kind of correlate. As you can see here, the amount of volume that's flowing into this ecosystem, like I said, people are buying majority of this. And right now, we're seeing a lot of volume, a lot of purchase orders around the 0.88 Ethereum level and a little bit below that. But no matter what, we've actually seen us go into a new uptrend, meaning that as much as people like to think that we've actually seen a huge decrease in floor price, well, that dip did rebound and now we are bouncing up into new higher highs. And you can kind of see it right here as well in terms of floor price. So right now, I think we're kind of in good waters right now. I think people are just either buying these nice gems by just sniping the best NFTs off the floor and trying to find the best grails. Now, the last thing I want to share with you is price distribution. So right now, there are a majority of offers around the 0.2 Ethereum level. I think the reason that there is that many offers around that price point is because not many people can afford prices around 0.7. So they try to put as many orders as they can around here. So just ignore this as much as you can. So the majority of offers is around 0.7, 0.73 and higher. So when we look at the amount of listings though, we can see that a majority of the NFTs right now are around 0.9 Ethereum. So that's the highest amount of listings that we're seeing. So I want to do a little chart. How many of you want to buy Degods compared to how many of you want to buy y00ts? But also I compared it to Mutant Ape Yacht Club and also people who can't just buy NFTs at all. But if we compared Degods and y00ts, surprisingly enough, out of the 84 votes, 32% of you won that category. And it actually beat Degods. So apparently a lot of you are buying y00t NFTs compared to Degods because you're excited for Season 2 of y00ts. Who have been buying these NFTs? Well, we also have Jake MX, who ended up buying this grail on the floor because he actually has a pimp jacket and also the y00ts beanie and the glasses and the headphones. So this is a great steal because it has a nice color palette. So congratulations to you as well. Then we also have Cramrog, who ended up scooping a ton of these. Now this guy has a ton of y00t NFTs, but also Degod NFTs. And he ended up recently scooping this one that has kind of the virtual visor right here, which is kind of cool, and the Frank headband. So congratulations to you as well. Now, another thing I want to share with everybody is something that I made a post not too long ago, which was that I said, you do know that the DLabs XYZ website is using DID to track holders since the launch to distinguish true holders versus day traders. Now, if you've been holding Degods or y00ts since June of 2023, you may be in for a surprise. Now, Kevin Degods back on a Twitter space did mention DID, and what he mentioned was, this is a very unique tool. It allows him and the team members to kind of track holders, but he didn't say what they were tracking for. So that's why I brought this up. And you know who responded to that? We ended up having Kevin actually replying with these eyes, and also Frank the founder liked this post. So there could be something there. Usually when I see them like or respond to things like this, it's kind of hinting at something, or maybe they have something cooking in the kitchen. So don't ignore that, and that's why this post has gotten a lot of engagement. In fact, it had around 4,100 views. So that just gives to show that somebody's really paying attention to these different things. Now, I want to talk about what we need to talk about, and that is FUD. Now, we even had some community members, people who are well established with the y00ts community, bring up some really good points. Now, Toys, who grabs a lot of different snippets from different Twitter spaces to provide clips for different holders within y00ts, but also other NFT collections as well. He was just basically saying here, over the past 16 days, he's only seen around 5 tweets. And what's actually really interesting is that the y00ts page hasn't been retweeting, hasn't been sharing a lot of different tweets. And I wonder why. It's been the first in a while, but he said and addressed that this is a huge concern. He's afraid that some people are leaving, and he actually is seeing some of his own members within the community that are quite established within y00ts leave. But I just want to share with everybody, people have their own motivations. We do not self-shame. Self-shaming is not a thing here in this community, and if anybody ever does, they should be ashamed of themselves. You know, if you end up selling your NFTs, congrats to you. You know, the whole point of this is that people have their own financial situations. You should not judge people for that or scold them, because again, this space is very mature and immature in its own way. So just do your own due diligence before doing any of that. If we go over to the y00ts Twitter page, he's right. There's not a lot of retweets or tweets from this actual account. So it makes you wonder what's actually cooking in the kitchen. Why is this happening? And I think this could be intentional. So Toys brings up another thing, right? So he compared y00ts compared to Pudgy Penguins, which is another NFT collection on Ethereum that's run by Luca. So he was saying that, you know what, they're meeting up with companies like Bape to form different partnerships. And he's wondering if y00ts is going to be doing something like this now that they're leaving Polygon. You know, Polygon had a lot of different businesses such as Starbucks, DraftKings, so much more. So that the feeling of leaving Polygon and migrating over to Ethereum, this is a huge concern for him. So I want to address to everybody that this has actually been happening for y00ts on Polygon, and it's going to probably get bigger for Ethereum. y00ts already has what we haven't seen before ever, which is that both Degods and y00ts is going to be on a Formula 1 car. It's going to be on the Williams racing car. Alex Albon, who's the driver right now that's leading in the Drivers' Championship, is helping the Williams team score a lot of different points to be enough to get into the Constructors' Championship, which if you do get enough points, then you're going to get a lot of sponsorship dollars. But what's really amazing is that I've been watching every single one of these races for the past 5 years of Formula 1. What's really amazing is that these two NFTs, which by the way, we need to stop right there. We're the only NFT collection that has 2 NFTs from the same ecosystem within D Labs, of both Degod and y00. They're going to both be on the wing. But with that said, this is the first time ever that we have NFTs on a rear wing of a car, or even on a Formula 1 car ever. This is the first time. So the fact that this is going to be shown on broadcast on Sky Sports and ESPN Plus is going to be huge. There are millions upon millions of people that watch this. And by the way, there's only 15,000 of those NFTs, and less than 300 of these NFTs are actually listed on the floor if you have not checked already. So that's already crazy. That's simply supply and demand. We know how that works. That happens with Bitcoin. Now, let's go ahead and talk about another thing, which is, speaking of Bitcoin y00ts. Guys, it's going to happen at some point. Right now, we do know that there's going to be 535 y00 NFTs that are going to be listed on Bitcoin ordinals. And we do know that right now Bitcoin ordinals are undervalued, especially for blue chip collections. Right now I know Bitcoin Degods is hovering around 0.4 Bitcoin or higher, but imagine what the y00ts NFTs will be priced out on that floor price, especially when there's going to be a bull market for not just Bitcoin ordinals, but for Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, and NFTs in general. So if you're lucky enough, maybe you can score these NFTs, and it depends. What will you need to qualify for the y00ts ordinal NFT drop? Do you have to own a certain amount of NFTs? Do you have to be part of the 007, which is when you own 7 or more of these y00 NFTs? Or do you have to be a part of subDAOs? We don't know as of yet. So let's talk about some other things, and this is something I want to share with everybody. One of the largest whales of Degods, who owns 176 of these NFTs and ranked 4 in terms of total Degods holdings, is Pokey. Now, Pokey owns these NFTs, but also keep in mind, in terms of y00ts, he only owns 22 of these NFTs, and he's ranked number 29. So when it migrates over to Ethereum, will he have a bigger bag? If that's the case, then that floor price of y00ts is gonna skyrocket. This guy tends to accumulate because he wants to hold the value of it. He knows that when the bull market happens, probably he's gonna take out his liquidity from there. There's no point in making that amount of money here in the bear market. You make your most money in the bull market. So keep that in mind. You could own 22 of these NFTs and be alongside Pokey if you decide to. And you could be a huge whale in this game. And I want to get closer to the end of this video because, again, Frank did come home from Singapore not too long ago. He said, back home, you can start raising the expectation a little bit now. He then said, y00ts and Degods, not Degods and y00ts, which he usually does do, because y00ts is going to happen next. We do know that. So that's really cool that he said this because that's the next update. And also, he attended a recent Twitter space. He ended up joining Van Gogh on his Twitter space, which was called y00ts After Dark Space Episode 3. If you haven't checked it out already, be sure to follow Van Gogh, and the space is pre-recorded. You can listen to this conversation here. But he said Frankie Degods is the founder that shows up, especially for his community. Degods and y00ts on top, but most importantly, y00ts is up next. So you gotta check out the Twitter space. He just kind of chimes in a little bit saying like, you know, lower your expectations. He definitely learned his lesson over season 3 with guarding Degods. So he's not announcing anything. Kevin's not announcing anything, but really lower your expectations. But I think based on what I heard in that Twitter space, he got really excited. And I think we could all be really excited regardless because this isn't the same thing compared to Degods season 3. There's not as much expectation. In fact, the expectations are so low, everybody's ready for anything. And the fact is, the y00t migration is happening first, and the only thing happening that we know of right now. So don't expect a ton of things to be announced, but expect that the biggest thing is actually going to be the migration over to Ethereum. And that already is too big. Like that, to me, is the most exciting thing around this collection because there's going to be huge, crazy volatility within the price of y00ts and its floor. So keep that in mind. So with that said, as a conclusion, how do you feel around the collection around y00ts? I do know that right now these y00ts are undervalued. I'm looking to pick up more of these NFTs. I'm just looking for the right grail. And right now I've just been patiently waiting over and over, waiting for the right one to snipe. And I've actually sniped some ones well below the floor price because people were paper handing. And that to me was a great steal. And I got some really great points off that. So let me know your thoughts down below, and I cannot wait to read them. So be sure to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to like that button, and most importantly, join our Patreon page. If you want to receive all of our alpha calls of both buy and sell orders, both NFTs and cryptocurrencies, but especially within the y00ts NFT collection. Until then, I'll see you guys and girls next time.